In the rugged, breathtaking landscapes of Kashmir, where snow-capped mountains, serene lakes, and verdant valleys create an almost outwardly panorama, a unique spiritual evolution took root, in which Islam did not descend upon this region by the rapid sweep of armies, but rather entered gradually through the efforts of many traders, many migrants, and most notably Sufi saints. Over centuries, the influence of these mystics seeped into the fabric of Kashmiri society, resonating with people who were already attuned to a spiritual heritage shaped by Buddhist renunciation and Hindu ascetic practices, more notably Kashmir Shivism. By the 8th century, Muslim traders and many preachers began their journeys into the mystical land, introducing ideas that would slowly integrate into the local culture. The political instability and social unrest of successive eras provided a fertile ground for Sufi missionaries. The Sufis preached a message of universal love, inner transformation, and direct personal experience of the divine, a message that captivated the hearts of the Kashmiri people. With the establishment of Shahmir dynasty in 1339, Islam's influence was further cemented, yet it was the soulful transformation call of Sufism that reshaped the valley's identity. So in today's video we're going to talk about the many Sufi orders that Kashmir has seen over the years and Kashmiri people have indeed practices over the years. We're going to look at many orders, where they came from, and who were the notable saints of these orders. Among the earliest and most influential Sufi currents in Kashmir was the Suhrawardi Order, founded in 12th century by Sheikh Shahabud Din Umar al-Suhrawardi in Persia. This order emphasized the twin pillars of spiritual purification and strict adherence to Islamic law, all underpinned by a commitment to communal service. Its teachings resonated with people both seeking moral guidance and spiritual solace. In the early 14th century, Sayyid Sharfu'd Din Suhrawardi journeyed into Kashmir, carrying with him the profound teachings of his master. In Kashmir, Sharfu'd Din was more notably known as Bulbul Shah, whose sincere approach and humble lifestyle struck a deep chord among the local people. Influential regional figures, including local sheikhs, leaders, and aristocrats, were so moved by his message that many embraced Islam, even adopting new names reflective of their own transformative identities. This era marked the blossoming of the Suhrawardi tradition as scholars and mystics spread its ideals throughout the valley. The most influential figure within the tradition of the Suhrawardi order in Kashmir was Shaikh Hamza Makhdoom, revered as Mehboob al-Alam, or beloved of the world, or Sultan al-Arifin, the Sultan or the king of the Gnostics, or king of those all who know God. He was known for his exceptional scholarship and aesthetic lifestyle. He became a spiritual beacon for countless devotees. His teachings, which blended rigorously into intellectual inquiry with deep mystical insight, which helped solidify the Suhrawardiya presence in Kashmir. Today, he is buried on the slopes of Koh Maran in Srinagar, where his tomb stands as a living testament to his enduring influence. Another significant current in Kashmiri Sufism is the Kubraviya order, which finds its roots in the mysticism of Sheikh Najmuddin al-Kubra, a renowned Persian mystic born in the 12th century. Kubra's writings and spiritual practices laid the groundwork for the mystical tradition that would flourish across Central Asia and Persia before making its way to Kashmir. The Kubraviya influence in the valley is most notably embodied in the life and teachings of Mir Saiyid Ali Hamadani, or known as Shaikh Hamdan. Born in Hamadan in Persia, the journeys of Sayyid Ali Hamadani eventually led him to Kashmir in the 14th century. It became a turning point in the region's spiritual history, regarded as the architect of Kashmiri Islam. Hamadani was a transformative figure who did not only deepen the Kashmir spiritual fabric but also sparked a cultural renaissance. He introduced the Persian language, literature, arts, and even new architectural forms that enriched the local traditions. His discourses, celebrated for their emphasis on divine love and the intricate nuances of mysticism, attracted scores of disciples who carried his teachings far and wide. Furthermore, the Kubraviya tradition branched out into variations such as the Naqshbandi order, although these offshoots sometimes sparked debates over doctrinal interpretations, especially in reconciling Sunni and Shia elements. These orders contributed to a diverse and vibrant spiritual mosaic. The Kubraviya mystics were known for their detailed exploration of concepts like Marifa or Gnosis, Fana or the annihilation of the self in the divine, and Baka, subsistence in the divine, engaging in deep metaphysical debates that enriched Kashmiri intellectual life. Another order, originating in Central Asia, was the Naqshbandi order, which was established in the 14th century by Sheikh Bahauddin Naqshband and is especially renowned for its emphasis on silent inward remembrance of Allah, known as Zikr al-Khafi. This practice of silent zikr, combined with a disciplined adherence to Sharia, offered a pathway to spiritual realization that was both introspective and rigorous. In Kashmir, the Naqshbandi tradition first appeared during the reign of Sultan Sikandar, which was from 1389 to 1413, through the works of Sayyid Hilal Naqshbandi. Although its initial presence was relatively modest, the order experienced a significant revival in later centuries, notably under the guidance of Khwaja Khwand Mahmud Naqshbandi. The emphasis on inner silence and meditation provided a counterbalance to more aesthetic forms of Sufi expression, and its disciplined approach gained respect among both the common people and the ruling elite. The Naqshbandi practitioners were celebrated for their ability to maintain and delicate balance between the outward observance of the religious duties and the inward quest for divine closeness. Their practices, deeply embedded in routine meditation and silent prayer, continue to be admired as models of spiritual discipline and the inner serenity, a legacy that endures in the serene ambience of Kashmiri spiritual centers. Another Sufi order which was very famous in Kashmir was the Qadiriya order, founded by the great Sufi Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani. This order, distinguished by its emphasis on strict spiritual discipline, heartfelt devotion, and the renunciation of worldly desires, its teachings invited practitioners to cultivate humility, engage in deep repentance, and strive for the annihilation of the ego in pursuit of divine love. This order made its entry in Kashmir in the late 16th century primarily through the missionary endeavors of Sayyid Ni'matullah Shah Qadri. In the new environment, the Qadri message found fertile ground among the yearning for a more personal and disciplined spiritual experience. One prominent figure who helped establish the Qadriya tradition in the region was Sheikh Mir, a mystic originally from Khorasan who founded a spiritual center known as Khankai-e-Indarabi in Srinagar. His life of introspection and devout worship inspired many, and his teachings were carried forward by his disciples, including Sayyid Ismail Shami. Later leaders such as Mir Nazuk Niazi and Mir Muhammad Ali Qadri continued to propagate the Qadri doctrines. They emphasized the necessity of inner purification, rigorous self-examination, and the constant remembrance of Allah. The Qadiriya mystics were known for the combination of the reconciliation of sacred places with physical artistries, creating an environment where the transformation of the heart was both a personal and communal journey. These gatherings were marked by a profound sense of devotion, as each practitioner strove to embody the principles of divine love and humility. After all these orders, there remains an order that was distinct in all its essence from the other Sufi orders. This was the native order of Kashmir, Distinct from the imported traditions of Persia and Central Asia, the Rishi Sufi order represents an indigenous form of Sufism that emerged originally in Kashmir, rooted in the ancient spiritual practices of the region and enriched by the legacies of Buddhist and Hindu aesthetics. The Rishi order embodies a unique homegrown mysticism. At the heart of the tradition is Sheikh Nuruddin Rishi, more notably known as Noond Rishi or Alamdar Kashmir or Sheikhul Alam. Born in modest circumstances, Noond Rishi grew to become a symbol of spiritual purity, simplicity, and ethical living. Rejecting material wealth and ritualistic formalities, he embraced a direct, heartfelt approach to divine love, one that spoke in language of the people. His poetic verses, composed in the Kashmiri dialect, are repeated with metaphors drawn from nature, as they very much express the interconnectedness of all creation. Noond Rishi's life is enveloped in legendary tales of his great endeavors and his great insights into Sufism and acts of profound compassion. His teachings, which transcend the rigid boundaries of formal religious structures, offered an accessible path to spiritual enlightenment. The Rishi movement gave rise to the numerous disciples, including Baba Bamuddin Rishi, Sheikh Zainuddin Rishi, Latifuddin Rishi, Baba Shukruddin Rishi, and even Baba Payamuddin Rishi, each of whom played a pivotal role in expanding the tradition. The legacy of all the Sufi orders in Kashmir is as intricate as it is profound, a tapestry woven into the threads of intellectual rigor, cultural renaissance, spiritual discipline, and indigenous mysticism. Whether through the scholars' insights of the Suhrawardi and the Qadiriya orders, the cultural innovations of the Kubraviyas, the disciplined silence of the Naqshbandis, or the heartfelt simplicity of the Rishis, these mystics have collectively redefined the spiritual landscape of Kashmir. The teachings, often expressed through poetry, treatises, and the establishment of khanqahs, or in English known as spiritual centers, have nurtured an environment where both intellectual inquiry and mystical experience thrive. The enduring influence of these traditions is evident not only in the religious practices of Kashmir, but also in the art, architecture, literature, and social customs. So, in this exploration of the Sufi orders in Kashmir, we uncovered a legacy that transcends time, a legacy built on the transformative power of mystical experience, and an unwavering quest for the divine truth. These orders have provided a spiritual framework that challenges us to look beyond superficial divisions and embrace a deeper understanding of our shared humanity. These stories remind us that the journey towards the divine is not merely the pursuit of ritualistic observance, but rather an intimate, personal odyssey of love, sacrifice, and awakening. And I will see you next time.